Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is a New York Jet!
Swaggy Sauce Gardner.
I love Sauce. I love his tape. I love his press technique. I love his confidence. He has everything you want to see in the position. And I think Robert Saleh and this scheme is perfect. It's a hand-in-glove fit for him, man.
Garrett Wilson.
It's Garrett Wilson! The New York Jets have just got two big-time playmakers!
I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be the most impactful rookie receiver in this class. And I think we see Zach Wilson play like he did the last 6 games of the year, times 10, and have a phenomenal second season.
Wow, you think? Yeah! Yeah! Let's Jermaine Johnson!
Breece Hall, running back, Iowa State.
Breece Hall, oh my God, they got him! They went offense. They went with the best running back in the draft. Jeremy Rucker, oh my God! The Long Island native is a New York Jet!
J-E-T-S, Jet.
Let's go! Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to another Jets Media live stream. And today we got a special guest. You know him very well. He's Ryan. He's Jets Talk 24/7. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Dude, I'm glad to be talking ball with you. We got some excitement coming in after this bye week.
Oh, we have so much excitement. And guys, by the way, I was on Ryan's channel just last week. So if you guys did not check out his series where he got a bunch of content creators on his channel, he got Jake Asman, he got Tyson, he got Joe Blewett. He had so many great content creators on his channel. Make sure you guys go check out that segment of me on his channel. Of course, everybody else. You guys know who Ryan is. You guys know the drill. If you're not subscribed to him, I don't know what you're doing. It's down below in the description if you're not already subscribed to Ryan. So we got a big game to talk about today. On Sunday, the New York Jets have a revenge on their minds. The Jets are 6-3. We're fresh off our bye week, Ryan. But there is something about the Patriots that Jets fans just feel like it's just such a big deal. We beat the Buffalo Bills, and we should be on cloud 9. But there's still business to take care of. We still have 8 games remaining. What's your overall thoughts before we get into the details of this game, of the Jets getting revenge in Foxborough and defeating the hated Patriots that's beat us 13 straight freaking times?
Well, you just said it 13 times in a row, right? That's the whole thing that we're kind of carrying on our back. I'd say let's get the monkey off our back, but it's more of like a silverback gorilla. Like this is the last one we got to get off. We got the division. We got a division win first time in like 2 years. We're starting to turn the ship around, but we still can't figure out a way to beat Bill Belichick. And I think that's sort of where Jet fans feel. It's like, oh, 2 of Zach's worst games of his career have come against Bill Belichick and the Patriots. So can he overcome that? You have to win your division to be able to like really go far in this league. Get yourself a home playoff game. And look, there's a lot of opportunities for the Jets to make things right this time around. And I think Zach Wilson and the offense, they're going to play a little bit better than we got out of them last time.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot, watching that game, Ryan, the Jets-Patriots game, I came away after that game like, oh my gosh, we could have won. And I immediately thought, we're going to beat the Patriots in Foxborough. And this was before we beat the Bills. So like, I had confidence in beating the Patriots before we beat the Bills. And then we beat the Bills and we're like, oh, wait a second, we actually do have a chance. And the reason why I feel like we could beat the Patriots, because when you watch that game, the reason why we lost, it's unfortunate, but the reality was Zach Wilson had 3 terrible mistakes that cost them the game. And also, you have to bring up the special teams, because the special teams lost that game against the Patriots. We were awful in field position. The Patriots started with the ball on their 40-yard line or our own territory, and the defense did as much as they can possibly do to, give up 5 field goals and only 1 touchdown. So it all comes down to Zach Wilson, because what Bill Belichick does throughout his entire life as a head coach is he's going to force teams to beat you what you're not good at. He's going to shut down what you're good in, which is our running attack, and force you to do things you're not so good at, which is passing the ball. So that's really what it kind of comes down to. And then we also got another member of Jets Media joining the show. We got Jack in the house. Welcome, Jack.
Yo, what up, gentlemen? What up, Ryan? Pleasure to speak with you as always, my man. And what's going on, everybody in the chat? Richie, thanks for having me on today. Very stoked to talk some Jets with you guys. Let's go.
Hell yeah, man. So, Jack, we're talking about the Patriots. I just want a little spiel. Before we get deeper into the Patriots and Jets game, you know, Ryan was saying, like, it's not a monkey on the back to beat them. It's like a silverback gorilla on the back of Jets fans.
Oh, my God.
What's your thoughts about this game?
I think, and I know we've said this for the past 2 games now because they've been huge games, but here we are now at 6-3. This is the biggest regular season game the Jets have played since probably 2010, you know? Because if we win this game, we're by ourselves in first place in the division. If we lose this game and Buffalo beats Cleveland, we're last in the division.
And we're out of the playoffs.
So this is the biggest game. I mean, I can't even wrap I'm going to wake up on Sunday with a knot in my stomach, man. I mean, I know all of us are, but like this game is going to be absolutely insane. It's the most important Jets game in over a decade for sure. And we absolutely have to come out with a W. We're in the most competitive division in football, man. I can't believe I'm even saying that after 20 years of dominance by the New England Patriots. All of a sudden, the AFC East is a powerhouse division, and we're in the mix, man. It's not like we're in last, but we could be in last with a loss to the Patriots. Come the end of the year, they could beat us in a tiebreaker scenario, obviously. So this game has everything riding on it, man. If we want to go to the postseason this year, win a playoff game potentially, get a home playoff game at MetLife Stadium. Can you freaking imagine that? It all hinges on this game, man. It really all hinges on this game.
It really does. And you bring up
this is monumental.
The biggest game. This is the biggest game of the year. And there's been other games where you could say that. But the reality is expectations rise. And as the season goes on and the more you win, the games get bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, that Dolphins game felt like the biggest game in Jets history. And then the Patriots game last time was the biggest, and then the Bills the biggest. And now again, this is the biggest game. And that's what happens when you're a winning team and the skates get higher and higher and higher. Shout out to Charles, a great member of the channel. Let's go Jets. Time to take the Pats down. You already know, Charles. I got confidence. I'm going to manifest it. We're going to beat the damn Patriots, okay? Ayo with the $2 super chat. If Zach doesn't pull a Zach, we win. Simple. What do you think he means by that, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, he wants to see Zach take care of the football, right? He's got, I mean, what is it, at least 7 interceptions through 2.5 games to play with the Patriots. Got to take care of the ball. Take care of the rock. Jets win this game. Jets were the better team last game with the exception of the self-inflicted wounds. You mentioned the special teams issues with the stepping on the tee and not getting, a good punt or whatever. And then the JFM hit, the interceptions by Zach. I think if the Jets clean that up, we're going to be in good shape.
No, it really is serious. If you look at that game, we were playing better defensively. We were playing better all over the field. And another part about this game that's so unfortunate is Zach Wilson had a career high in yards, and he looked really good in that first half. And you can't really talk about the good from Zach in that game because of how bad those interceptions were. It completely outweighs it. But the reality is you take those throws away, and Zach plays against that Patriots defense in the pocket, decisive, explosive plays. He had 9 explosive pass plays, which is 15-plus yards. So Zach just got to really be consistent, and we'll get more into Zach Wilson as the stream goes along. But, guys, if you're just tuning into the show, please do me a gigantic favor. If you love having Ryan here on the show, hit that like button, everybody. We're just getting started here on the Jets Media live stream, so everybody smash the hell out of that like button. We greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys. So before we go any further, we're going to hear a quick word from Mojo. As you guys know, Mojo is a proud sponsor of Jets Media, and the Mojo market is it's looking pretty good for the Jets players. We got a lot of people trending up. So now is the time to invest in your New York Jets. Now, you cannot invest in defensive players. Mojo is an offensive playmaking app. So if you look at all the players that are trending up, we got the Wilson duo, right? Zach Wilson is finally looking like he's going up. Garrett Wilson is the guy that's exploding the most on the market. And then you got guys like Michael Carter and James Robinson, the 2 running back duo, who are both trending up. And then you have another duo in the tight ends who are trending up. And then the 2 players that are in the red that are trending down are Corey Davis, who could be back this Sunday, which would be a big-time plus to the offense, and Elijah Moore, who's trending down. I think we all know the reason why for that. Not involved in the offense. The Jets are going to try to move him into the slot and all that great stuff. So, guys, if you want to join the Mojo stock market, click the link down below in the description to download the app today, or just simply scan the QR code on the screen right now, and you guys will be able to download the Mojo app and trade today. So, Ryan, I want to get your overall thoughts. Let's start off with the Wilson duo. Garrett Wilson is the guy. If you can see the stock, it just goes whoop, explodes, because Garrett Wilson is on pace to go over 1,000 yards this year, in my opinion. He is looking like the number one receiver on this team, the best rookie wide receiver in the league. What is your thoughts about Garrett Wilson and, of course, Zach Wilson with their price range right now?
Yeah, obviously he's ticking up a bit with the Corey Davis injury, the Elijah Moore kind of not benching, but like lack of use. So I think there's a lot going his direction, as well as just being a really damn good football player. So I think his star is really going to shine bright this last half of the schedule. And then, it's the sky's the limit for this kid. I mean, you've seen all the talent he had at Ohio State, and he's going to be able to bring that to the NFL.
Yeah, and I also have to bring up that Garrett Wilson, the past 2 games, 14 catches, 207 yards. Right? We haven't really got to see Garrett Wilson and Zach Wilson get on the same page. It took a little bit, but the last 2 games, and I think Corey Davis going down had a lot to do with that, because Garrett stepped in as the number 1 guy, and he's coming through. So, Jack, what's your biggest impressions of the Zach Wilson to Garrett Wilson connection in the past couple of games, and what do you expect that to happen in the back end of the year?
Yeah, man, I love the Wilson to Wilson connection that we've gotten to watch develop over the course of the season. Obviously, it's really come into prominence over the past couple weeks, and I do think Corey Davis going down definitely has something to do with that. But as Ryan said, I think Garrett Wilson's just a damn good football player, man. He's a talented kid. There's not anything he can't do at the wide receiver position. And I think that, it's clear right now. And like I said, Corey Davis definitely has something to do with this. But I mean, for the past couple of weeks, it's been clear who Zach Wilson is trying to target pretty much 90% of the time. He's looking for Garrett Wilson. So you can definitely understand why that results in a trending up. In terms of your other question, how do I think it's going to transition into this latter half of the season? I still think Garrett Wilson is going to be the number 1 option, even with Corey Davis's return. But I'm very excited for Corey Davis's return. Corey Davis has been Mr. Clutch in the 4th quarter. And the fact of the matter is, man, I want to see Elijah Moore get involved. I really do. I think all of us do. He's way too talented to not get the ball. I'm not going to complain about the fact that we're winning games, but we could be encountering an even more explosive Jets offense if we really used all of the weapons that we have. So I do expect Garrett Wilson to continue to be the number 1, but I would like to see some sprinkles to Elijah Moore, to Corey Davis, to Tyler Conklin as well, and get the whole passing game really rocking and rolling in the second half of the season, so that we're ready for the Yoffs, baby.
Yeah, so Jack brings up Elijah Moore. We heard from Salah today, and he said that they are going to work Elijah Moore in the slot a little more. Ryan, what's your thoughts about Elijah Moore transitioning to the slot? He didn't say it's a permanent, you're our slot receiver, but he said that Elijah Moore is going to get more involved in that side of the ball, and the big reason for it is because Garrett Wilson's emergence as an outside receiver and the slot receiver. So what's your overall thoughts of Elijah Moore? And do you expect him to be involved in this offense at all? And would you invest in Elijah, or would you stay away from him right now?
Well, I think the time to get in on Elijah as well, his stock is a little bit down, and I do think that the Jets are going to try and increase his value. I think not just to make Elijah Moore happy and to kind of mend that relationship, but also in the event they don't want to have him for next year. You're looking at a player that wants to try and cash in on that big contract, like his buddies DK Metcalf and AJ Brown. So he's obviously trying to follow in that type of footstep. I would like to see the Jets utilize him out of the slot and really kind of, get him around in space. He's quick. He's tough to tackle in a phone booth. I don't understand why we haven't been using him, more than we really. I mean, we haven't. I think we targeted him one time in the last 3 weeks, and it was a ball that got swatted down. So I'd like to see him get targeted more. I would like to see him be the first or second read, because it feels like the last few weeks he's just not even really an option at all. So I think getting in on Elijah Moore while his stock is down is probably the right move.
Yeah, I agree. I think the future is bright for Elijah in the second half of the year with him going to the slot. And then the running back duo. Unfortunately, we can't talk about Breece, because Breece's stock on this app was just exploding. But look at Michael Carter. That is value. I think out of any player on this Mojo market on the Jets, the best value is Michael Carter, only $6.11. He's been stepping in for Breece Hall, one of the most underappreciated players on this entire team. Not only his impact on the field, but off the field, he's a leader. He steps in for when the running backs coach can't be there because his wife is in labor. So he steps in as the coach, and he's, the leader of the running back room, watching film and studying and all these things. So Michael Carter's a captain on this team. He's a team leader, and he's stepping in for Breece Hall as best as you can. I mean, against the Buffalo Bills, 76 yards on the ground and a touchdown and 10 yards through the air. I mean, what more can you ask for Michael Carter? And then not to mention James Robinson in his second game with the Jets had a big-time game. It gets in the end zone and has 3 straight crazy runs on the same exact play call in the fourth quarter to really move the sticks. So, Jack, what's your thoughts about the new duo of Carter and Robinson, and do you think they're worth investing in?
I totally agree with you. I think that the value we see right now with Michael Carter is insane. Obviously, I kind of do understand why Robinson is a little higher, just because I feel like Robinson is the goal line sort of guy at the moment. But I mean, Michael Carter has a phenomenal skill set coming out of the backfield, whether it's catching the ball, running the ball outside of the tackles. He's still got that shiftiness. He's still got that speed. And I love the fact that he's just, kind of a massive leader of this offense as well. So I'm all in on Michael Carter, especially for the value. And we saw James Robinson in his second game with the Jets really become a part of this offense. So I expect that to continue to trend in a positive direction for both of these running backs. And if we play winning Jets football like we've done all year, we're going to be seeing a lot of Carter and a lot of Robinson this Sunday. So maybe think about dropping some coin on Carter or Robinson right now before they explode following Sunday's romping of the Patriots. Please.
Yeah, I think Carter is such an underrated player on this team, and he's definitely a good get right now. And then quickly with the tight ends, the tight ends are interesting. If there was one player I'd invest in out of these two players, it's definitely Conklin, because he's more involved in the passing game, where Uzama's more that guy in the run game, there's nothing wrong with that. Uzama's impact on this team is very valuable. But when it comes to investing in them, I think Conklin is the guy to invest in. So again, guys, if you want to download Mojo, scan the QR code on the screen today, or go down below in the description, click the link and download it and have some fun, man, because you can make good money on Mojo. Also, you can bet on players to fall if you want. So that's really the Mojo market, and I'm excited to see what the future with that. So guys, if you're just tuning into the show, please do me a favor, hit that like button. I greatly appreciate everybody tuning into the show. We got Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 joining Jack and myself to preview how the Jets beat the Patriots. So Ryan, how do the Jets beat the Patriots? What the heck do they have to do? It's obvious that Zach Wilson needs to play better, special teams needs to play better. But what are some under the radar type of things when you look at the Patriots in this Jets matchup that needs to be at the top of its level in order to beat the Patriots?
Well, I think it was the game plan we saw last week against the Bills. And we saw against the Patriots the first time around, lots of running around, lots of bailing out of clean pockets, not as many quick throws. I think before the Buffalo game, the Jets were averaging about 3.3 seconds per snap to throw. So that's a long time, a lot of time between that. In the Bills game, Jets got it down to 2.25, 2.3 seconds or something along those lines. So they got the ball out fast from Zach's hands. Play with a little bit of tempo. Allow Zach to, I feel like, play with his instincts as opposed to needing to think and process. Let him get comfortable with the stuff that he's comfortable with. Run the ball, give him some reasonable downs and distances, but get the ball out quick. If there's, 2 options and they're not there, take off with your feet. Allow yourself to get those 3, 4, 5 yards at a time to get those critical first downs. We saw in the Bills game, 2 first downs on critical third downs. Now, unfortunately, the first one ended up not going towards points because we had that 12-minute camera gate incident. But then just after the camera gate, after the Bills got the ball, we get the Sauce Gardner interception. Before our touchdown, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, whatever it was, Zach Wilson scampers for a first down. Very next play goes to James Robinson. He scores a touchdown. So I think if you can have, 1 or 2 of those types of running first downs and getting the ball out quick, I think that's the formula for success for this Jets offense.
And I know Jack is going to get pissed when I say this, but we cannot allow Mac Jones to have more rushing yards than Zach Wilson in this game.
Oh, my God.
Also that, Jack.
Oh, my God.
Is that what happened last time around? I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah.
That was, I mean, because last time Zach, I don't know what Zach was doing last time. I mean, he just running wasn't an option, it seemed like to him. But here we see, Mac Jones, who, already looks like Phillip Rivers at age 36, is like, running for 8 yards on 3rd and 7 and stuff like that. And it was just pissing me off. So, yeah, I think the third down defense is definitely something that needs to improve from last game as well. But another point, just speaking offensively, I think that a big key for this game is going to be whether or not the Jets offensive line can contain Matthew Judon and the rest of this Patriots pass rush. Because we the stats are there, man. Zach Wilson, when he's given time in a clean pocket, he makes the right throws. He makes the right decision. He moves the ball down the field. He's got one of the better passer ratings from a clean pocket.
Yeah, all the stat gurus, go look at Zach's stats in the pocket. It is excellent.
Yeah,
out of the pocket, not so much.
For real. So that's why I just, I felt compelled to mention the Jets offensive line. I know do we know, are we getting Max Mitchell back? Are we getting
Max
Fant
Mitchell
back?
has returned to practice, and they have a 21-day window to activate him. We don't know for certain if he's playing on Sunday, but there is a chance that he does. But there is another injury to the O-line we have to talk about. But Saleh didn't say that he's concerned. Nate Herbig is not practicing with a leg issue. Saleh said he's not concerned on Sunday. But other news, Larnay Tardif, LDT, is working out with the Jets today. So he's coming back after his medical situation. And the Jet medical situation, meaning he's a doctor, nothing's wrong with him. But he could be returning. And if Nate Herbig is banged up, LDT started 70 games last year at right guard. That's depth. We need as much depth as possible. Bring in LDT. Bring him home.
That's so Joe Douglas, man. And I love it. And I'm here for it. But yeah, definitely offensive line needs to step up, do their thing. In the run game as well. I mean, they've been very, very solid in the run game. But we need them to just, have the best game of the year. We need them to be rock solid on all fronts. We need Zach Wilson to have time. And we need lanes for Michael Carter and for James Robinson. So I really do think, obviously, Zach Wilson not throwing picks is the main X factor. But I think, that's 1A, and 1B is the offensive line, allowing him time in the pocket to make the right decision.
And in terms of matchup wise against the Patriots, you got to give them credit. They are scorching hot on defense the past couple of weeks. They are getting to the quarterback. They are one of the best defenses in the league right now. So they're red hot. And they're also, and does not help the Jets, one of the best teams against the run. They are second in the NFL at stopping the run. And if there's one thing that we know that Bill Belichick does, and I said this earlier before Jack joined, is he's done it forever. He looks at his opponent, and he says, okay, what does this team do well at? Let's take that away, and let's force them to beat us with something that they're not so good at, right? A good analogy is like, I heard someone say it this morning on something I watched. I can't give him credit because I forgot who it was. But, I think it was Peter Schrager on Good Morning Football. He said, like, if you're right-handed, force that person to beat you left-handed, right? That's kind of what Bill Belichick has been known to do. He's someone that likes to exploit your weaknesses and shut down your strengths. So basically what the strength is for this Jets team is running the ball. And that's exactly what they did. The Patriots shut down the Jets running game in that game, and they forced Zach Wilson to throw the ball 41 times, which resulted in a loss. So it's up to the Jets to really make sure that they're prepared for that, to try to run the football. Even though they're going to hone in on the run, still trying to run it down their throats. And if they cannot run the ball, I still have confidence in Zach to learn from his mistakes and not make those same boneheaded throws that he did against the Patriots. So what the Patriots do so well in is forcing Zach Wilson out of the pocket, force him out of his spots, get him out of rhythm, and force Matthew Judon down his throat. Because all three of Zach Wilson's interceptions was with Judon in his face. That's not an excuse for Zach. The reality is Judon is that good. He's the NFL leader in sacks. He gets into Zach's head. He gets into the pressure. So you're right on the money, Jack. It is all about the offensive line. How can they protect Zach? How can they run the ball? But let's talk about the Jets defense, because I think the Jets defense has a chance to win this game, because this is going to be a defensive battle. It's one of the best defenses against one of the best defenses in the NFL. We destroyed Mac Jones in that game. We sacked them like 6 times, and they only got in the end zone once. And the 5 field goals was, I think, because of special teams, and the Patriots offense started with excellent field position every single time. So when it comes to the defense, I think we need a defensive touchdown in this one. We almost had it with Michael Carter the second. 85-yard freaking pick 6 gets called back. So let's get our defensive touchdown, whether it's a pick 6, fumble 6, I don't give a damn. This is the game to do it. Brian, what's your thoughts about the Jets defense matching up against the Patriots offense? Who are some players that really need to step up in order to shut that team down and help out the offense? Because turnovers, you have to win the turnover battle in order to beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I think it starts with the guys up front. Our defensive line, obviously we lose Sheldon Rankins for a little chunk of time here, but I'd like to see us continue to get pressure on Mac Jones. Try to force him into some bad opportunities. I trust our secondary. I trust our linebackers, which is kind of weird to say at this point because all offseason I'm like, oh man, the linebackers are going to be a point of contention. Quan Alexander, Quincy Williams, CJ Mosley, these guys are playing lights out. They are playing violent, and they are just making guys hate having the ball in their hands because they just lay a wallop. That's what I want to happen to Mac Jones. I want him to get hit so bad he doesn't want to take the next snap. That's my goal. And then if you keep doing that, I think you will get that strip sack. I think that's kind of where this probably all stems to. I don't think they're going to try and throw the ball all over the yard on our secondary. I think, although I guess it would probably be a little bit harder if they're not throwing the ball to get the strip sack. We need to score points on the offensive side to put their offense in those always throwing situations. So that way they have to drop back to pass. If we're playing from behind, that does not play into our defense's strengths at all.
Yeah, man.
Totally.
I think this defense, Jack, what's your thoughts about what Ryan had to say?
There's not a single pass catcher from the Patriots that scares me in any way, shape, or form. We gotta play better on third down overall. We gotta contain Ramondre Stevenson, who was a problem for us last game. And we have to, like Ryan said, we gotta hit Mac Jones so hard that he doesn't want to take the next snap. JFM, if we get a nonsense roughing the passer call, I'm all here for destroying Mac Jones, but we have to do it in the smartest way possible because it's the New England Patriots that we're playing. We know Belichick has the check waiting for all the refs after the game. Like, we have to play clean, perfect football. And I think we can do that, man. I think that, it's really going to be up to the linebackers and the guys up front for this one. Obviously, I'm not taking anything away from the best secondary in the league that the Jets have. But I just don't think, like I said, I don't see a pass catcher that I really am scared of at all on the Patriots. We know they like to get their tight ends involved, so that's really going to fall more on, CJ and Quan and Quincy, I think, than the secondary. And then, the guys up front getting after Mac Jones and plugging up any gaps that Ramondre Stevenson can, squeeze his annoying ass through. So I think we just have to, the guys up front, the linebackers have to step up and do their thing, and we have to play clean. No stupid penalties. We can't beat ourselves. But I love the way our defense matches up against their poor little offense. So let's get it.
Yeah, and you mentioned a big key to a win, Jack. But I have to highlight John because I was actually about to bring this up, John. Shout out, John. Jack, JFM did well last game. He put Josh Allen down with 2 hands. Did you notice that, Jack, when
I didn't notice it, and I love it, but this is the Patriots we're talking about. So
no,
we
I know,
need to...
it was just funny to bring up because John Franklin Myers, Josh Allen threw it, and JFM literally was holding him like a baby. It was just obvious that JFM knew how bad that penalty was, and he was so scared, and he was like I gotta see the clip of that because I remember that exact play, John. Very funny. But Jack, you bring up a great point to the game. The Patriots are notorious for if you make mistakes, they are going to make you pay for it. And the Jets cannot beat themselves up like the roughing the passer penalty, like any type of penalties, like self-inflicting wounds. We cannot beat ourselves, and it felt like we beat ourselves against the Patriots in that game. So I think it's up to the Jets to play a clean football game. We played clean against the Bills. There was not a lot of penalties. So I think it's really about playing fundamental sound football and, limit the self-inflicting wounds. It's that simple, Ryan, because every time that you make any type of mistake against the Patriots, they're going to make you pay, and they're going to capitalize on those opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. It's for me, I think, and I see delusional Patriots fan talking about it, like, oh, how dare the refs call penalties on the Jets. Look, that was a penalty. I can admit John Franco Myers hit Mac Jones late. I think it was a little ticky-tacky, but I just want to see the plays called fairly, because last week, Zach Wilson got popped, no flag. Like, just call it consistently. If you call it consistently, I got no issues. The Jets got to play a clean football game, and they can win this game. We're the better team.
It's that simple,
100%.
man. And it's so, and this is like one of those things where, like, I watched a segment on Good Morning Football this morning, and they're saying, like, Kyle Brandt is like, yeah, like, the Jets are a fun story this year. The Jets are good, but they can't beat the Patriots. We can't take them seriously. And it's like hearing those type of things, and then seeing how much this game means for the rest of the season, guys. I saw a graph where the hypotheticals of if the Jets win or lose, where they're at in the standings. If we win this game, we're the 3rd seed in the AFC, first in the division. If we lose, we are the 8th seed in the AFC, out of the playoffs. Now, I also don't think, and I don't think we're going to lose, but I also don't think if we lose this game, it's a guaranteed missing the playoffs. So that's another thing I don't want Jets fans to think. There is a path to make the playoffs, whether we win or lose this game, because of that win against the Buffalo Bills. That win against the Bills we cannot forget about. That really saved the season in terms of making a wild card push. And now, obviously, if we beat the Patriots, we get to 7-3, and like the odds are in our favors all over the place. But if we lose to the Patriots and we're 6-4, we still got a lot of more winnable games. And this is how I'm looking at the rest of the season. We have 3 games at home, 5 games on the road. The 3 games at home are all against teams that have losing records: the Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars. And then the 5 games on the road is at 3 division games, and then 2 games that are teams against in the NFC, first place in their divisions. So 2-1 at home, 3-2 on the road. That gets you to 11 wins. Do you think that's possible, Jack?
I do, and I think that, there's still a clear path to the playoffs without beating the Patriots. But obviously, you think this way, Ryan thinks this way, the whole chat thinks this way. Let's beat the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? It's time to beat the Patriots. So we got to win this game. But yes, there is a path to the postseason without winning this game. And I'll tell you what, I'm not scared of the Buffalo Bills. That wasn't a fluke victory. Josh Allen looked like shit. He looked like shit the week afterwards as well. Our defense won that game. I'm not scared of the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Bills again. Give me the Dolphins again. Let's make Tua look like crap. The Patriots, for whatever reason, have our number, and we all know it's Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, the greatest game planner of all time. Like you guys have been mentioning, he knows how to beat you. He makes you do what you're not good at. So the Patriots have our number. We got to win this game, but I'm not scared of the Bills, man. Those three games at home we have in the latter half of the season are must wins. And obviously, we're all thinking, yes, the Jets can win this game. But how many times have we seen a Jets team lose to a shitty team that we should have beaten? I always think about a couple years ago when the Bengals were still ass. I think they were like 0-12 or something, and we gave them their first win of the season. That type of shit can't happen anymore. If we're a legit playoff team, we got to beat the Bears. We got to beat the Jaguars. I'm missing one. Who else is it at home?
Lions.
The Lions. Come on, man. We got to win those 3 games. Let's beat the Pats. We got a tough game at Minnesota. We got to go to Seattle. So we got some tough games, but we also have, I think, 5 winnable games. The Patriots, those 3 games at home, the Dolphins. And like I said, man, that was not a fluke. I am not scared of the Buffalo Bills. Give me the Bills. Let's see it.
Yeah, and I agree. And the cool thing about what the Jets have done in the first half of the season, and it was the topic point of my stream yesterday, is they control their own destiny. There's no more, and obviously Jets fans are going to be rooting against the Bills and the Patriots and the Dolphins, as we should, rooting against everyone in the AFC. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the rest of the AFC conference does at this point, as long as the Jets take care of their own business, because they've positioned themselves to control their own destiny. What that means is if they win all the games they're supposed to win and they go 5-3 in the last 8 games, they're in the playoffs. Doesn't matter what other teams do. So what's your thoughts of that, Ryan, that even though Jets fans can be rooting against other teams in the AFC as we should, but at the end of the day, none of that matters if the Jets just take care of their own business?
Yeah, right. It feels good. 2009, we had to back into the playoffs. We thought we were out, and then teams lose, and the Jets, sneak in the back door. This time around, I don't feel, you guys kind of mentioned it before. The Jets don't necessarily have to beat the Patriots to get into the playoffs. I do think we can still, be front runners for the wild card with a loss. But I think if you want to be taken seriously within the AFC overall and want to be, competitive within the division race, like for the winner of the AFC East, I think you have to get this game. You need this game, and you got to take care of business. You don't worry about what other teams have to do. You work on your stuff, the things you need to improve on. You get better each and every day, and then you keep stacking that brick by brick. And by the end of the week, maybe you beat that team and you continue on to the next week. And I think the Jets are setting themselves up well to just take care of their own business.
That feels so good, man. Like, you remember, we just have to worry about all these external things, like, this team has to lose. It feels good, man. We control our own destiny. Shout out to Hennessy, my guy. $10 donation. Shout out to you guys, Richie, Jack, Ryan. I'm just happy we aren't looking at mock drafts right now. Enjoy the ride. I couldn't give two craps. I don't know anything about this draft class coming up, and I'm so happy. Tankathon is not even on my brain. Mm-hmm. How good does that feel, Ryan, that we're not even thinking about drafts?
Oh, dude, it feels like the end of September each of the last few years, basically since Darnold probably even before Darnold got mono. Like, we're talking like a long stretch of time where it's just been like, okay, mock draft. Let's see where can we go in the future. And now I'm thinking, like, we're not going to have a crazy ton of cap space at the end of the season. We just have our draft picks. I couldn't even tell you what draft pick we have because I haven't looked at Tankathon. Yeah. The only time I pulled up Tankathon in the last month was just to see who was actually like in the top 10. Not even players. I couldn't tell you like any players that are coming out this year aside from CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. So it feels good as a Jet fan.
Quickly, Jack, how good does it feel? Because I know you're a big mock draft guy, that we don't have to worry about this.
I'm not looking at anything draft related until March, dude. Like, I'm on cloud 9 right now. I could give a crap less about the draft. It's my least favorite thing to talk about in like October of every year. Like, I just could not care less about who the Jets are going to draft at like the midpoint of the season. Even when we're losing, I'm just like, guys, like, come on, like, let's just like who like, I can't do this every year. I can't do this.
Yeah,
and
so good.
And it just feels amazing, man. And the fact that, like Ryan said, we're not going to have a crap ton of cap space. We have our picks. But, that means that we're a good football team, man. That means that all these past years of pretty much exclusively thinking about Joe Douglas and what he's going to do to make this team better, it's working. It's working right before our eyes.
It is.
And we have faith in our general manager. So I think with, just our own draft picks, I still have faith in Joe Douglas to go out there and get some studs, whoever it's going to be, in this next draft. But I could not care less about that right now, man, because the Jets are 6-3. We're about to be 7-3. We're going for the Yoffs. We're going for the division. And we're getting respect within the American Football Conference and the NFL.
And since we're on the topic quickly, let's just have some fun. Previewing the offseason, since the Jets don't have a lot of cap space and since the Jets don't have a shit ton of draft capital, the cool thing about the offseason is we don't have a lot of pending free agents. Mm-hmm. You know what that means? Continuity. That means that we have a lot of players on the books right now on this team today that will be here next year. And that is how you build a sustainable winner. That's how you build continuity. Like, year 3 with this team next year is going to be a lot of fun. And they're going to make some additions for sure. They're going to make some trades. They're going to bring in free agents. They're going to draft new players. But it kind of feels good, Ryan, that like going into this offseason, it's not like, all right, we need like 10 new players. Like, it's more like, all right, let's bring the same people back and let's add through the draft for depth purposes, right? Because there's not a lot of weaknesses on this team where you're like, wow, that position is just so bad to the point where we need to spend so much money on that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way I look at this offseason is almost similar to like the 2010 offseason where you had Braylon Edwards and Santonio Holmes being free agents. We're kind of looking at that, like retaining more of our own, taking care of our own guys, retaining some role players. Guys like Herbig are going to hit the free agent market. Rankins is going to hit the free agent market. Quan Alexander, Quincy Williams.
Bryce Huff.
Yeah, Bryce Huff's going to be a restricted free agent, so you can hit him with one of the tags. But overall, it's kind of retaining your own guys, determining who you want to stay here long term. There's going to be some big names coming up on contracts, or that have bigger contracts that can save us cap space. That Jet fans, they might be feeling like, oh, maybe we got to cut them to make all this extra cap space. But why do you need the cap space if you don't have players? So the guys like Carl Lawson, guys like Corey Davis, guys like CJ Mosley could be cap casualties or what I'm hoping for is some restructures to keep these guys here the next 2-3 years as a, continuity. We see it in Buffalo. These guys have been together for 4 years, and they're just clicking on all cylinders. I think if the Jets can keep their guys in-house and worry about the guys they have here and then build through the draft, add smart free agents, I think that's the right way to handle this offseason.
Of course, and not to mention Quinnen Williams is due to be paid, and he's under contract next year, and they could just roll in with him next year and then franchise tag him. But if I'm the Jets, I'm giving that man the extension, bro, because he's someone that is just on another level. King Jamie says, hi, guys. I'm not sure if it's more fun to watch my Chiefs do what they do or the Jets kicking asses and taking names. I would see the Jets in the playoffs. Shout out Jamie for the $5 super chat. This is a very, very awesome Chiefs fan, Ryan, who's been following my channel for years. I remember during all the negatives, he's always been that positive. Like, I've been supporting my Chiefs. Don't get it twisted. The Chiefs are good now, but the Chiefs have been bad for so long, and I respect loyal fans. So it's awesome to have a Chiefs fan and King Jamie to come here and support the Jets, man. Jamie, we appreciate you as always.
Yeah,
Shout
voice
Jamie,
of reason over there. I like it.
Love it.
The voice of reason. So let's talk about Quinnen Williams real quick, because the cool thing about this team that I always realize when I'm live, like, there's so many players that we need to talk about. Like, there's so many players that, like, need to be talked about. And Quinnen, he doesn't get talked about enough. He gets his credit. I'm not saying he's underrated. I mean, he's getting the credit, but Quinnen Williams is having the best season of his life. And every year I always say, Quinnen Williams is playing like an average to an above average defensive tackle, but we all know, he knows, I know, that there's another level to his game that he could reach. The question is, will he reach it? And he's reaching it right now. So, Ryan, what's your thoughts of Quinnen Williams and his breakout? And is he someone that you'd want to extend today, extend in the offseason, or roll in with his fifth-year option and do the franchise tag?
Yeah, Quinnen's absolutely gone off this year, and it's really nice to see. I think having the edge rushers has certainly allowed him to kind of unlock that potential, and I'd love to see us bring him back long-term. I think this is going to be the first offseason that Joe Douglas is tasked with actually retaining our own guys and giving contracts to players that the Jets actually drafted. Quinnen Williams being in the forefront of that. Obviously, his fifth-year cap hit, I want to say it's probably like, I don't know, $12 million or something like that for being the third overall pick. But I would like to see us extend him on a 3-year extension, 4-year extension, but it's going to be somewhere in the tune of like $23 to $25 million a year, if I had to guess. Obviously, the leader in the clubhouse is going to be Aaron Donald. No one's getting close to that money. He's nearly at $32 million a year. And then you have Dexter Lawrence, sorry, not Dexter Lawrence. You have Chris Jones, Leonard Williams, and who am I forgetting? The guy from the Colts, Buckner. They're all sitting right around $20 million. So I do expect Quinnen to be over that, but I think Quinnen should, or at least I hope Quinnen realizes, like, hey, we have you on your fifth-year option. We have you for potentially 2 franchise tags. If you work that out average-wise, it's $18 million a year. If you'll take $22 million a year, that'll increase it. You'll get locked in. Hopefully there's a little bit less of a jet tax, but I'd like to see Joe Douglas take care of Quinnen Williams. And, I would love to see it happen before the offseason, honestly, but, hey, make Quinnen earn it and, get to the playoffs and finish off a great season.
Yeah, not only is Quinnen breaking out and we want to pay him, but it would also send a message to the players that are drafted here that if you step up, and we're the Jets, and I know fans at first were upset about this, but they're patient with their draft picks. They allow time, and Quinnen is in year 4, and it takes a little bit for players to really break out. And Quinnen in year number 4 is becoming a star before our very eyes. Not only just a star within the team, but a star across the NFL. He's playing like an all-pro. And if the Jets sign him and Joe Douglas gives him that bag, that sends a message to guys like Sauce and Garrett and, all the guys that we drafted, ABT, Mekhi Becton, if he wants to bounce back, that, like, if you step up, the Jets will take care of you and give you that contract that you are so looking forward to in your second year, second contract with the Jets. So hopefully they do take care of business. We got my guy Mutt Viles in the chat with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate your contributions to Jets Media and, of course, Jets Talk. What's good, boys? Handle the rest of the division, and we will be respected, especially getting the dub this Sunday against the Pats. Jets winning 27-13. Let's go, Jets. AFC East winners. I'll be at the game to watch our Jets get a W. Our guys represent the Jets over there in Foxborough.
Love it. Love it. Shout out Muffiel's, man. We need that energy in Foxborough because there's going to be a lot of upset Patriots fans on the way home from that game. please.
Make sure you collect all the tiers. We can sell them later on. And I want to funnel some Patriot tiers.
Patriots fans tiers after 6.5 years of constant winning.
I love it. Well, Mutviels, cannot thank you enough for the generous donation, my man. Enjoy the game in person. It's going to be very awesome to watch the Jets destroy their asses. And the roundtables tonight, and I'm coming for blood. I don't even care. I don't care if the Jets lose and I'm like on a receipt video and I look like a clown. I'm predicting the Jets to win this game all the way. And then also, by the way, Ryan is joining the AFC East roundtable on Friday night. And it's going to be me and Ryan going up against Master at Work and another Patriots YouTuber to preview the Jets and Patriots. That's on the AFC East Roundtable YouTube channel. So if you guys are not subscribed to that channel, make sure you do so. It's down below in the description. We go live every Wednesday night. I represent the Jets. There's a Bills representative and a Dolphins and a Patriots. And then on Friday, we have a show as well. And we usually like to preview the division game. So Ryan, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to get you back on the show. Speaking of Quinnen Williams, there's a lot of other players on this defense that deserves recognition. But when it comes to against the Patriots, there's one player that Bill Belichick just loves on this Jets team. And he gives him so much credit in every press conference. And his name is CJ Mosley. Bill Belichick said that in a press conference that CJ Mosley was like calling out their plays in that game. CJ Mosley like knew exactly what play they were running. It's like Bill Belichick said in his press conference that it's like CJ overheard what the call was in the huddle. And I feel like Jets fans don't give CJ the credit he deserves because he's not the flashy guy. He's not Sauce. He's not Quinnen, but he is the heart and soul of that defense. He's the captain. He's the team leader. And I think he's a big X factor in this game because if he can continue to anticipate what the Patriots are coming and he communicates and he's the guy, that's going to be elite. And he's turning back the clock, man. I mean, he's playing like he's 24 in his prime right now. So, Jack, what's your biggest impressions of CJ Mosley and his biggest, impact of this Jets defense? He's a big reason why we're top 5.
It's just, I'm so happy that it's coming to fruition, man, because obviously CJ Mosley got a mega Mike McCagnon contract. Basically didn't play for 2 years, right? And we're all wondering, is he even going to be the same player when he comes back? Is he going to be playing at that high level? And boy, oh boy, has he exceeded every single Jets fan's expectations. The entire linebacking core as well. Shout out to Quan and Quincy, who've really been playing amazing as well. But CJ is the anchor on defense, man. He's like the quarterback of the defense. He's phenomenal in terms of being able to cover the middle of the field, at least this year. Last year, that was a glaring weakness of this Jets defense, was, getting burned over the middle of the field. And it seems like CJ Mosley is there in coverage. He's going to lay the wood just like Quan and just like Quincy. And he's playing at a super, super high level, man. He's, once again, he's one of the best in the league at his position, which is, what we gave him that insane contract for. So the fact that it's finally playing out, it's coming to fruition. We're seeing the tangible results on the field. I love it.
Ryan, what's your thoughts of CJ Mosley this year? He's third in the NFL in tackles. He is on pace to break his own record that he actually set last year for tackles in a season. So CJ Mosley, man, that's Bill Belichick's biggest nightmare, and he's coming to town again. So what's your thoughts of CJ heading into this game?
Yeah, I think he likes the Alabama Crimson Tide sort of Nick Saban type player, the guy that plays smart. He knows he doesn't make many mistakes. We saw CJ Mosley that first week against Buffalo. The first year we got him, we were like, wow, this guy's going to be incredible. And then you lose him for the season. You don't have him for the following season with the opt-out. And I think, even last year he played, relatively well. I think he was victim of a bad defense, bad secondary, bad defensive line. And I think he got a little more flack than he needed to. But he kept it together. He restructured his contract at the beginning of this year. And he's really the leader. Calling out plays before they happen, it's so massive for the quarterback of the defense to be able to do that, to get guys in position to make the plays that they are making. I really hope CJ's here long term. If you had asked me prior to the season, I'd say, look, there's no way CJ's on this team next year. $21 million cap hit, it's absolutely ridiculous. And, I still feel that way as far as the number goes, but I do think CJ Mosley I think he wants to be here. I think he understands where his role is, how he fits into this defense. And I think there's I don't know. There's something nice about having a former linebacker coach in Robert Saleh as your head coach, because there's a little bit more of maybe a nuanced conversation between the two of them. And I think there's a respect for the calls he needs to make, the plays he has to make. And you look at like the screen passes and things out of the backfield. It seems like we've clamped down on those. The last 2 years, we've just been getting torched by running backs out of the backfield. And it's still, I would say maybe one of our weaker points on this defense, but it's definitely not like what it was recently. And I think CJ is a big reason why that is better.
Yeah, and I feel like we have to bring up Robert Saleh and his coaching staff, because we're going up against the New England Patriots, who have the greatest coach of all time. And they're not the same Patriots without Tom Brady, but they're still Bill Belichick. And when it comes to Robert Saleh and his coaching staff, this is a big chance for them to outcoach Bill Belichick. I think Robert Saleh outcoached Sean McDermott on Sunday last week, because the game plan was excellent. I mean, you cannot ask for a better game plan. You got to give credit to the entire coaching staff, not only Robert Saleh, but Jeff Ulbrich calling the defensive plays. Mike LaFleur had a phenomenal day scheming guys open for Zach Wilson, and Brant Boyer, who's been excellent for special teams. And then the unsung hero of the coaching staff, Smash, Dan Shamash. I mean, I made a whole video on him highlighting how awesome that guy is. I mean, he is the situational coordinator. There's no situational coordinators in the NFL outside the New York Jets. The Patriots were notorious to have a similar guy in their organization for a lot of years, and the Jets have a similar role with Smash. So, Jack, what's your overall thoughts of this coaching staff in general? Heading into the season, I know me and you both were like, we love Robert Saleh. I really hope he's the guy. Like, he's a great dude, but it feels like he's proven to be the coach for the future. I know there's a lot of games left, but what's your impressions of the coaching staff this year, and what do you want to see them improve on at the back end of the year, especially against the Patriots? Yeah,
I think that obviously, coming from those 2 years that I don't even want to talk about with Adam Gase, anybody coming to be the new head coach would have been a better situation. And the fact of the matter is, Robert Saleh I've been rooting for Robert Saleh since day one. I think all of us have. But the fact of the matter is that I wish he showed us a little bit more last year. Especially from a defensive perspective. The defense was last year, and Saleh's supposed to be this defensive guy. So going into this year, I was still 100% on the Robert Saleh train. But I needed to see more, and he has made an almost 180-degree turnaround, man. The defense is playing absolutely lights out. His leadership abilities, you can just tell these guys want to play for Saleh. They want to win for Saleh. Everybody likes to bring up that word culture, and it really, really does feel like the winds are starting to shift here for the New York Jets, which, thank God, man. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the long run, but right now it feels so damn good that we have confidence in the general manager. We have confidence in our head coach. We have, renewed confidence in Jeff Ulbrich. Mike LaFleur, I still think has a little ways to go, but we've seen progression from him as well. If the Jets stick to their game plan, we win football. We win football games, right? So, I think this coaching staff, which is, very inexperienced in their own right, in terms of being in their respective positions. Obviously, they all have coaching experience, but this is Jeff Ulbrich's first go as a DC, Robert Saleh's first go as a head coach, Mike LaFleur's first go as an OC. So these guys are developing right alongside these young players. And I think they've done a hell of a job in terms of, the youth and inexperience at the pro level that we have on this team. And, these young guys are the reason why we're winning. So that really, at the end of the day, that comes down to coaching, man, and getting these guys ready to play at the highest possible level. So they all deserve a massive shout out for sure.
And Jack, you bring up that the Jets were last in the league in defense last year. How about this stat? The New York Jets defense is on pace to be the first team in the Super Bowl era to rank top 10 in scoring and total defense this season after ranking last in both. The other 4 instances in NFL history happened in 1955 or earlier, when there were 12 or fewer teams. I mean, talk about a turnaround. And
Where's the first,
they highlight Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner has allowed the fewest pass yards, 26, yards per reception, 4.3, and yards per target, 1.6, in man coverage this season, minimum of 10 man coverage snaps. Sauce has also allowed 3 catches for 2 yards on 81 man coverage snaps since week number 4. So, Ryan, what the heck's going on with this defense? I mean, how did they go from last year to top 10 this year? On top of the additions, the Sauce and DJ and Whitehead and all these guys, but it's evident that the system and the scheme, which was very much in question last year, works with the right personnel.
Yeah, I think it's a big testament to this coaching staff and Robert Saleh and Ulbrich overall, and as well as the players. But you look last year, when Rex Ryan came to the Jets, he brings in Bart Scott, he brings in Jimmy Leonard, he brings in these guys that understand his defense already. This year around, we get Quan Alexander, you get DJ Reed, you get a healthy Carl Lawson back. You have Solomon Thomas coming over. You have, even the additions on the offensive side, like Laken Tomlinson. Like, having this coaching staff, creating an environment that players want to come and play for, I think is a massive step forward. And I think just winning a few games, if the offense playing a little bit better than it was, the defense rounding itself out, playing better than it was, allows guys to kind of give it a little bit extra juice, and not having so many losses at the beginning of the season has allowed for, I think, a heightened sense of playing at this point in the year. And I think having skilled players like DJ Reed, like Quan, that know the system and can teach it to the other guys and the terminologies and the, hey, in this situation, you're going this way. And you look at the leadership, Quinnen Williams, like halfway through the Bengal game, yelling at White Cotton, DJ Reed saying, hey, we got to have, a meeting with the coaching staff. We got to make some things simpler. Ever since that Bengal game, the defense has just been on an absolute tear. So I think that's a testament to the players, to the coaching, and the situation and the growth that this Jets organization has had as a unit. You see guys bringing it up constantly. Quinnen Williams in post-game press conferences saying team, unity, communication, like things that hinge on other players. And I think that's a big reason why they're having a lot of success this season.
Exactly. And ever since Joe Douglas came in the building, we were hoping that he can develop a culture. And how do you develop a culture? It's by bringing in guys who love the game of football. And you can tell that this team not only is playing well on the field, but off the field, they're very close. They are friends. They go out to dinner. They play Call of Duty together. They do everything together off the field. And Robert Saleh was asked about that. And he said, listen, when you get a bunch of guys together who all share a similar passion of interest, which is football, it's very easy for those guys to get along. And that's what this Jets team is including. You want to develop a positive work environment in order for you to be successful. And when you have a head coach that just reeks positive energy, I mean, he wears a damn shirt that says positive vibes only, which is why I always love Saleh. And I'm like, I'm an optimist myself. So someone that finds the light in all bad situations is something where, that really helps out the ability to battle adversity. And when you have a team that's so close together that can handle a loss like they did against the Patriots and come out there and beat the Buffalo Bills, that shows you a sense of character that this team has, that they trust in each other. They trust in Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson threw 3 picks where it looks like he should be out of the league, but the Jets did not look at Zach Wilson and like, all right, well, you are trash. Let's go to Mike White. Like no, they didn't do that. They believed in Zach. They thought that he can figure it out, and he did. And he still has a lot of proving to do at the back end of the year and be more consistent. But the reality is the culture and the environment and identity that Robert Saleh and his coaching staff and Joe Douglas are developing here is everything I've ever wanted in my entire life as a Jets fan. And it really speaks volumes because we're developing an environment that other players are going to want to come to. And that is a big, big, big thing, because when you do that, stars around the NFL are going to look at the Jets and be like, wow, they're a young upcoming team. I love Saleh. I love what they're doing. I want to go over there. I want to end my career over there. I want to be try to go for a Super Bowl over there. Like, those are real things that's happening here, guys. There's a long way to go, but if we can develop a system that is competing year in and year out, oh my God, it just feels so good, man. It just feels so good. So, guys, we're going to wrap up the show here, but before we do that, please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes before the stream is all wrapped up, guys. We have over 125 people watching with just 67 likes. So if you guys enjoyed the show, please do me a favor. Hit the like button because it does a lot for the channel. It's a very easy way to support the channel for free. So it really does mean a lot, guys, if you just simply hit the like button. So, Jack, what's your last thoughts and your final predictions for this Jets and Patriots game? What's going to happen in Foxborough? What's the final score?
Oh man, I hate doing score predictions, but I will oblige. and I will give you my my prediction. Here we go. Sorry, I was just I had to open up in a new browser window because I had to make sure I hit that like button, just like all you guys should do. But yeah, man, the keys to victory, real quick. Obviously, as we said, Zach Wilson can't throw interceptions. We got to protect the ball. The offensive line has to step up. The defense needs to play smart and play aggressive and not get any stupid mistakes. And we can't beat ourselves. And obviously, special teams was a huge, kind of still underrated factor in terms of why we lost that last game. I still think we could have won that game if we didn't, give the Patriots incredible field position every drive. So I'm basically asking my team to play perfect on all three phases. I understand that that's what I'm doing right now. But listen, man, this is what we need to do if we want to beat a team that's had our number for 2 decades. But, I mean, really 13 straight games now. So 6.5 seasons, basically, that is. If we want to, turn the page and flip the script and change the narrative and all those analogies, we have to play a perfect game. And I think we can do that. We are the better team. And if we play smart and stick to the game plan that has helped us to win all year, we will get the dub and we will be all alone in first place in the AFC East through 10 games. I can't even fathom that I'm saying that, but that's the position we're in here, boys and girls. So we got to play clean and we will come away with the W. We are the better team.
Score?
Oh, shit. Oh, damn it. 24-21 Jets.
All right, Ryan, your last thoughts of the game and score prediction.
Oh, that's closer than I want it to be, Jack.
I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Screw these guys.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It takes so much for me to even say they're gonna win. Richie knows that. I hate putting it out there that they're gonna win because I'm superstitious when it comes to the Jets. But yeah.
Hey, I've got a pick'em league. I have not picked the Jets to win in like 5 years. I don't do it. It's not. I never pick the Jets to win when I'm like throwing money at it. I'd rather pick them to lose and then like be pleasantly surprised and lose money. 100 times a day. But I'm looking at this game and I'm seeing the same thing Jack's seeing. No self-inflicted wounds. Take care of business. No stupid penalties. Just play between the whistles. That's all you got to do. Just play between, when you're allowed to be playing. Zach, be smart with the ball. Continue this fast reaction, quick reads. And then if something's not there, just take what the defense is giving you. Get that 2-yard pass, get that 3-yard pass, get that 2-yard run, get a first down, and just build a little bit of momentum here. And then just allow your defense the opportunities to make the Patriots make mistakes. Because if you give our defense enough time to let them do that, we're going to create turnovers. We're going to create more opportunities for our offense. But if we keep giving the ball back, it kind of neutralizes that. So I think if we take care of our side of business, we easily walk away with a win here. I think the Jets win 27-17.
Wow. High scoring game. I like it. All right. So I'm loving these predictions, boys. I'm loving it. I think this is going to be a gritty defensive battle. I think it's going to be low scoring. It's 2 of the hottest defenses in the NFL coming off buys. And I think it's just going to be a field goal battle. And each team has a touchdown or maybe 2. I hope I'm wrong, right? I want the Jets to have 27 points, Ryan. But at the end of the day, I'm just looking at this game, and I feel like the Patriots defense is going to be able to make plays. The Jets defense is going to be able to make plays, and it all comes down to special teams. And that's what Jack alluded to. We have to win. If we lose on special teams in this game, we're going to lose the game. You have to be able to win the field position battle, because if you give the Patriots good field position every single time they start with the ball, the defense can only do so much. Hit your field goals, pin them deep, play good on kick coverage and punt coverage, and let's see a Berrios touchdown return for a kick or punt maybe. So I think it's going to be the final score something like 16-10 Jets. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, gritty defensive battle. It's going to be a gauntlet, and I think the Patriots make a couple more mistakes than the Jets, and the Jets capitalize, and it comes down to a last defensive possession to win the game, and the Jets will do just that. Let's go, Jets, everybody. Hit that like button, please, on your way out. Thank you, Ryan, for joining. We always appreciate having you on, my man.
Thank you, Ryan.
Looking forward to the roundtable on Friday.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much for having me on, guys. Great talking ball with you.
Always, man.
Always. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. The AFC East Roundtable will be live tonight at 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you guys tune into that. It's going to be a lot of fun. TD Finsock is going to be saying Josh Allen's trash probably 400 times, so you definitely do not want to miss that. So I'll catch you guys tonight. Peace out, everyone.